Hey, today we will be building these two mobile shelving units, sideboards, I'm not too sure what we want to call them. This is as a return for the chest of drawers that I got from Theo's kindergarten teacher a while ago with all the little drawers. She asked for having one or two of these, so I quickly just assembled these together. They're just open space. It's supposed to be easy for the kids to put stuff inside on top, hence they're so low. So yeah, it's a very simple project. I hope you enjoy. Let's see how we did it. Now I know why in the demo videos there were always two chaps doing this. So for this, I've got all the pieces cut. The only thing that I haven't cut is the middle shelves that'll go across, because I'll do those and cut them to the right measure once I've sort of assembled the base of the unit. Now, initially I wanted to do this with pocket holes because it'll go super quick and it's fairly straightforward. Problem with pocket holes is they leave horrible holes everywhere. And because it's for kindergarten, I kind of feel like I should do it a step up. So I don't have a biscuit joiner or a domino, which I absolutely love, but they're very, very expensive and I can't justify buying that for just this project. Or just general mob. I've got enough expensive equipment here as it is. But I do have a very simple dowel jig which does the same trick. So the point is here that you hide the fixings. I could obviously also use screws in that, but you'll always see them, and I'm not too sure that that's the aesthetic that I'd like to go for this. So I'm building two anyway. Maybe the second one I'll just cave and do pocket holes. I'm hoping not. I haven't really used the dowel jig on such a big piece, and I need to kind of remember how to use it, but I think it is the better way to go. So I'll RTFM, then look at using this jig, and yeah, let's get on with it, right? I've marked where the dowels need to go. So I'll just clamp my piece of wood in, just like this. Fine. I've also set the depth of the screw, which is important allegedly. Obviously it's important. The idea is this is the 8mm, somewhere here. Okay, so with this, that should be smack bang in the middle, so let's go. Now, if we take a dowel in there, it should stick out about 10 centimeters from what I gather. Looks a little bit big to me. 11 millimeters. I've never done this before, so I'm taking my time making sure everything's good. Yeah, slightly too much, but it doesn't matter. Right, it's middle. And this doesn't have to be perfectly spaced across, because we'll actually use these as a reference for the next ones. That is the cool bit about this jig. mean, people who have done this before go like, duh, or why don't use a domino? But you know, for me, it's something new, so I like it. And now let me set everything up so I can show you how I'm going to do it to the bottom and the top. It's super important that now I don't muck up the order. According to the manual, at this point you should already glue in the dowel into the side piece. Personally, a little bit reluctant, but the idea is that you put them in. I mean, I suppose it couldn't hurt, but I just want to dry run this whole procedure. Then the important thing is you have to align these, right? Sorry, I'm just double checking something. Oh, okay. Oops. Okay, so then with the jig, I'm going to attach this. So what you're supposed to do is you take your edge piece, slot the dowel in the target hole, and then this bottom part, if you loosen it, you can pull out. And then you push it so that it's flush and straight, and that should be the same for all of them, right? So you push it and it's flush and straight, then you tighten it. So that, hold on, I need to do it from this side. So that, can you see? So that distance where the hole gets drilled to the edge is the same, because that needs to be the same here to make it perfectly flush. So let me just make sure it's 100%. So this is why working with the correct sides is super important. So now that that's done, the idea is you keep these super flush, and you can push this in, and that's where you should drill the counter hole. Scary, right? Okay, so now, perfect, and that's where I drill. The only thing I need to do is I need to adjust the depth of this. I'll be honest, I feel like the holes that I put in here for the dowels is not deep enough. These dowels stick out quite a lot still. So I kind of feel like I should redo them. Okay, now that I've re-drilled these holes, I need to make sure that the drill bit only sticks out as deep as these are, particularly as I don't want to drill through this. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's 6 millimeters. So I'll measure that out and set that up so that we can drill the holes on this side. So after setting that up and doing a few test drills to make sure the fit is perfect, I was good to go. However, so here's the problem. A wood drill has this tip. Oh, this is loose, so that doesn't help. But it has this tip to, you know, get the hole started, etc. And that actually is like a few mils deeper. So what's happening is that actually protrudes through the front of my wood. So I need to use a different drill bit. So I'm going to see if I've got the right one even here, or if I need to go and get that. So I'll be right back. So what I've actually done is I've just filed off the point, as you can see here. So let's see if that works better. So the principle is we slot it in here and then drill. And that should be it. I'm going to do this. So, and in theory, TM, this should perfectly slot together. Wow. I mean, that is spot on. It's a little bit, no, it's perfectly flush. Sorry, the sawdust is getting to my nose, but you know, for being super worried, that works pretty well. Very happy. Now I'm going to go to the other sides and then the middle. Now is a big moment of truth. I'm going to try and dry fit the whole thing together as a full carcass, minus obviously the middle shelves, which will be done after. So, wish me luck. So I'll start with the bottom. I'll put this in place. It's there. Don't want too much. Okay, in theory TM, that flips on top, we have a perfect box. Overzealous, be overzealous. Don't fuck me with Mr. D's here. Hey, and why do you know it? Who would have thought measuring actually helped? Perfect, so now, the one thing that's missing for me is like I don't have the back panel, right? The back panel would make the whole thing much sturdier because even though you have the dowels and we need to still glue it, but you can see it's quite wobbly like this. Putting in the shelves will help for sure, but a back panel would be the best. Downside is I don't have the wood for it. I need to go and actually buy that because I want it to be thinner. I don't want it to be full 16. I could, but it'll make this thing very, very heavy, and I feel like one millimeter is more than enough. I'll have to think about that. Okay, I know this was most probably very instant for you. For me, it's like, I'm in RN quite a lot. I could go the approach of doing routing in sort of channels The problem is this is 18mm stock. I only have a 19mm or 60mm router bit, so I'd have to do 2 passes, which I don't really want to do because if I muck it up, you know, it's ruined. Also, the middle piece will be quite thin in the middle to give it enough strength that I want. And this is the whole point. This is supposed to be for kindergarten. So I am going to use pocket holes, but only for the shelves. Initially, I was going to think about making them adjustable, but we want this to be sturdy and it has a very specific use. So I'm going to use pocket holes to put the shelves in place. They'll give me the lot of strength that I want, and we can go from there. So first step is figure out the width of those panels and get on with it. Because I also want to finish this project, right? I have to, once I've done this, I have to build a whole nother one. So I mean, I just want to get cracking. So let me get on with that. So it's finally done. This part at least. Obviously I need to still finish it and attach the casters and that. But the assembly was actually harder than I thought. Not harder than I thought, but it's like always making sure everything's square. You can still see it's wobbly, but that's because of these bands and the straps. But you know, I did have a mistake with this one, where some of the dowels were a bit too long, but I had already assembled it and glued it in, and only once I put the shelves did I realize this. So yeah, it'll just have to be. I mean, there's a slight height difference here, but these shelves have sort of pulled it together. Now you can see it's like, I mean, it's wobbly, but it's like, it doesn't have a wobble from a structural point of view. Obviously, as soon as I put the backing board in, it'll be even stronger. So that'll be the next step. Let me just tip it down. So it doesn't stand on the straps. It is pretty rock solid. Next thing, put the backing board in. Casters. This one's done, need to just finish it. So, what I'm gonna do now is do the whole thing again with the second one. However, that'll be a job for next weekend because it's raining and it's blistering cold in here. Blistering cold? Do you get cold blisters, I guess? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's too cold to continue. I'll finish this project next weekend. So, it makes no difference for you, but for me, I'm gonna go and be warm now. Catch you then. Okay, so it's been a week or so. Both boxes are now fully assembled, well, both cabinets rather, are fully assembled with the backs in, so it's all looking good. The last step I need to do is attach the casters, then sand it, yay, and give it a cover of hard wax. I'm gonna use a hard wax to get protection. However, first thing's the casters. Now the problem with the casters is, if I just screw them in, the screws that come with the casters are quite long because they need quite a lot of place to grip to give it a lot of tension. So if we look here, that screw, ooh, let me just use one of these fixed ones. So that screw will stick all the way through, which is less than ideal. So what I want to do is I want to put a piece of wood, which is sort of what this is for, in between. However, then the screw doesn't stick through far enough. So what I will be using is I'll be using these longer screws because these, it's difficult to show, but these will stick through and into the next wood. Well, into the bottom of the cabinet. Now the biggest problem with these is the head fits through here. So what I'll just be doing is I'll be using washers to create that. Now, I know some people will frown upon this, and I know, you know, some people say, oh, you should get the right screws. I don't have that luxury. I can't just pop out right now to the shops. So I'll do this method. I've done that on all my other cabinets, including my workbench, and I haven't had a problem with that yet. If it should be a problem, I can always replace that later. I really think it should be a problem. So anyway, I will cut out wood pieces that kind of match this. This is maybe a little bit larger from this piece of wood that I sort of had spare. I'll just cut chunks, then attach those to the bottom with the casters and do the sanding. So yeah, let's get cracking with that. So actually, I'm gonna go a robe on first, right? Robe? Shitty. What's the English word? Apron, there we go. Let me get my apron on and get going. Okay, so a lot of sanding again, about an hour. So for this one, I'm gonna finish it with hard wax, which is like a liquid form of wax that's used a lot in furniture and wooden floors that, you know, get a lot of wear and tear. And seeing as this is going into kindergarten, I think that should be a good finish. We didn't want to paint it a color, natural look is fine. So yeah, I'm gonna apply that with just a brush. Like I said, it's quite liquid, and let's see what it looks like when we're done. And here we have them, the two cabinets, all done. I finished them over the course of a few days, just sort of waxed them in with that hard wax. They actually feel quite nice, look simple. I know they're not colorful or anything like that, but that's how they were how they were ordered. I installed the casters, so they move really, really well. So yeah, it's time to deliver that, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some pictures. And if I have, they'll be blended in right now. But yeah, super happy overall. Super simple project. It's also good practice for when I do my workshop, which is on the plans for this year. Most probably second half of this year by the rate things are going. But it's good to have these two cabinets, and I'm hoping they will enjoy. I think that's a wrap, right? It's a super straightforward project again. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me. And I'll catch you later.